Ashante! Happy Monday. We are here. We are having a good time. I have been gallivanting about the woods for a lot of this afternoon. It was fairly good weather today, and in Nashville, like once the fall starts like passing and we start moving into winter, it can start getting pretty shitty. So you just have to like enjoy all the good days while you can. Yeah, we're here for our anchor message for the week, and I've got to tell you, it's pretty exciting stuff. Well, yeah, let's just get right into it. So I had this urge to pull 3 cards from the archetypes deck, the Wild Unknown Archetypes. And then I followed up with 2 tarot cards from the Dreaming Wake Tarot. And if you would like to go read up about like what I wrote about this earlier, it's I'm Liz_Taylor_Magick, Magick with the CK, over on Instagram, and I post like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. And then we do a continuation video where I talk more about it later, like now. So the cards that I got were Threshold, followed by Prayer, followed by the Self. Sorry, not holding this straight. I love this. Threshold, Prayer, and the Self. I love Kim Kranz's art. I just love her imagery so much. Yes, and so our tarot cards underneath were Justice and the Emperor. And so I'll just talk about what I think that the whole message is basically saying. So, hold these up so we can see them. So we've been, you know, like walking the path of our life, and we've been going into this like huge big shift. This whole year has been like this liminal space of leaving behind like a whole old life, a whole old way of life. And you may have had several different things in your life that have changed in major ways. Like this has like been reinvention year, relaying like new foundations, like really up leveling into a whole new life. And so it's been like this opportunity for everyone, all of mankind, to like almost jump timelines and give themselves a whole new story and leave behind the old self in a way that like all the cosmos and the universe are behind this transformation for everyone. That's the invitation for all of mankind's like progression of consciousness right now. And so it's like if you as an individual have been like following your heart and following your guidance over the past, you know, definitely the past year, if not the last, you know, several years in a row, you're probably feeling like you're leading up to this huge new fresh start, this new beginning. Either that, or if you've been clinging to something that needs to fall away, that is not, that you're still holding on to, then it could be that you have been, you know, even in more distress, suffering more over it, or having more chaos in your life because you're not letting go of this thing that is trying to like go from your life. Because the universe is really trying to like take everything from like the past and like all of the old conditioning and all the stories that we used to tell about ourselves and to ourselves about how we thought life had to be or whatever. And it's like, no, everything, all the baggage, all the experiences, you know, the lessons, the pain, the whatever, the family conditioning, it can all rest there. And we can literally stop here in this present liminal space and choose to go forward and rewrite our whole story. Take all the roots that we have, right? And the core essence of us, and actually think like, what do we imagine in our wildest dream of what life could be for us, for ourselves, who we could be? Like when you think of your dream life, like that's really super specifically authentic to you, and say like nobody's like, you know, judgmental voices in the back of your head telling you what it has to be. Like if it was all just your fantasy life, what would it be like, right? Who are you in that life? What kind of person, what version of yourself are you within that life, right? So we're kind of being invited right now, like, hey, it's like a clean slate and you can actually intentionally create this life that you want. It's just that you have to like have the discipline to do it intentionally and methodically, and like have the persistence and the endurance to like continue on and have grit, right? But you have to kind of like rise to this occasion now to become this like version of yourself, this higher self that can have that life that you dream of, right? The life of the emperor, right? That has control over all of their kingdoms and, you know, has a reign and leadership over them all. And it, like the emperor is also like very stable, very grounded, very balanced, like a wise leader, like a King Arthur type. In its best form, the emperor is like a King Arthur type who like rules over a great kingdom and like has everything all is in order, you know, very successful. If the emperor is, you know, in a shadow side, then the emperor can be like controlling and like overbearing or overly domineering. And then Justice card here, I think, is talking about being able to like finally see the truth and your most authentic truth and your most authentic self, and then take that decisive action to start doing the things and being the person and like that you have to be to get that life that you want, right? So like we've been talking recently about revisiting some of your routines and your plans and your systems and stuff, and just making sure that we're like cutting the fat and making sure that everything is like of value and is giving you return on the energy that you're putting in. So cutting out things that aren't working or that aren't worth your time and energy and effort. So we're taking, you know, decisive action though to create and to like set our intention and put our focus and energy on the things that do need our time and attention and to take action. Let's see. So we're in this threshold moment where it's like, okay, we're standing on the brink of this new beginning here, and we're stepping in, and it's this whole season is sort of like this threshold moment. I feel like this has been the common theme, is that like as we round out the end of the year, it's gonna feel like things are very like slow motion and like what is, you know, like you can see, you can feel things happening, and your vision, like you can almost see it, you can almost touch it, you can smell it, you can taste it, but it's like nothing feels like it's really kicking off yet. And I think that's because that's going to be like the 2023 energy, where we're going to be implementing and building on the foundations that we've set. But right now it's about reevaluating, letting everything go from the past and letting the dust settle from that, and not taking it with you into the next phase, but really getting clear about like what you want in the next phase coming, and just start getting really disciplined about showing up for yourself in a very consistent way. Just that it's like an ironclad routine that you have, or an ironclad promise that you have with yourself that you're going to follow up. Because as you step up and up level into your higher self, or start having more affinity with that up leveled version of you, or that higher version of you, you have less room to slack off. You're in under what is called direct supervision of the creator, because you're starting to step up into your vision, and so you're starting to like expand into your potential. And so your spiritual support is there to help you, but part of that is like to whack you with a ruler if you start getting lax, or like losing your steam or your intention, right? You losing that grit, that persistence, that endurance. So stay on your game and take your time, and try not to short circuit at any point, like under the pressure. I know everyone is tired right now. Also, don't get impatient and rush through anything that is developing nicely the way that it is, in a nice, beautiful state of unfolding. Just kind of really enjoy the pace that the universe is setting right now, and watch and observe as like all this magic is unfolding. I mean, look at all of these, like this Technicolor in these cards. I just feel like there's so much magic building. Oh, and the prayer. In order to like sustain this like strength and endurance, we really need to make a regular practice of prayer, and to bring like a sacred ritual into our day-to-day and our comings and goings. Set your intentions in the morning. Pray in the morning. I like to pray casually throughout the day, but I do have more ritualized prayers in the morning and the evening. And then through the day, I'm just trying to be in tune. But I do try to remind myself to pray out loud and use my words and my voice, to ask for everything that I want, and to speak blessings over my life in every area, and to, to call in like all the good blessings and the good things, and to ask for the strength and the wherewithal to carry it all, because it's not like, you know, there's times where everything is like super easy and it flows, and then there's times where you really have to push back against resistance. In my Kabbalah class right now, I should probably watch an episode tonight. That'd be nice. A class. I'm streaming it through. We have a Zoom, so it's a replay. But we're talking about the phases of creation, which was great because that was one of the subjects that I was writing about in my Oracle deck. And I was like thinking, I want to revisit those themes and go deeper on it. And so that's what the classes were talking about. But it was about having an active desire versus a passive desire. And when you have a passive desire, it's like something's nice and it's like, oh, that's fun when it's presented, but you don't like go out of your way for it. Whereas like when you're like your dream, it's like when you're first working on a goal, it's like all exciting and fun and very satisfying. But then you get into that slog, that second act slog that we talk about, like when life is a metaphor, like the movie is a metaphor, where you're just in the face of a challenge and you're just trying to like overcome the conflict and the slog of like the labor of it, the chopping the wood, the carrying the water, and it's fun at times, but you go through this period where it just seems like it's going to go on and on forever. And that's, the universe does that on purpose. It conceals the light, so that you have to develop an active desire for what you want and really push yourself to go after it. And the more that you invest, it's like it generates and grows more and more passion. But it's all about that hidden light, that concealed light that you're like, oh, I've got a taste of it, but now I want more. How do I get, it incites in you a motivation to work harder, right? And to go after something and to claim it and demand it. And so the universe, or like in the phases of creation, it's like that's what the cosmic influence is inviting you to do, so that you can go from phase one as a passive desire to phase two to a more active desire where you're confronting the challenge. Phase three is where you almost feel like giving up because the light is so concealed, you can't see where the payback is coming. You can't see any results yet, but you push through even in the face of uncertainty. When it's unclear, you keep on trucking. And that is when the manifestation comes, right? And so that's what we need the prayer practice for, is to keep us going in the face of uncertainty, because we have to push through that resistance, knowing that the light is still there. It's just concealed temporarily. All right. very exciting. Coming into alignment with the higher self, really starting to step into this new chapter, and then taking decisive action and just choosing to build those routines and to integrate temperance and balance into your life to have more affinity with that higher self, that version of you that can create that life that you dream of, right? Keep a prayer practice going to keep you on that game, and just know that, like, don't be impatient. We're standing on the threshold. Look how close we are. This is bare feet on this, like, earth. Also orange. Like, something about orange recently. I've been noticing a lot of orange. It's interesting. I was writing with orange ink the other day. It has to do with creativity too. It's associated with the sacral chakra. Also the astral realms, the moon, the foundation, yasad, the sacral chakra, psychic intuition, nightly dreams, those things, those are all associated with orange and the second chakra, the sacral chakra. All right, you guys, I am going to get off here and enjoy the rest of my evening. Ooh, I have saved Ari Shafir's stand-up special on YouTube. He's a comedian. I don't know if you're familiar. He's really, really funny. I'm going to watch that tonight. Yay! I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to cook. And I'm going to make salmon. I had some zucchinis left over that I didn't cook the other night. And I got some mushrooms. And I have some already roasted butternut squash. And yeah, gonna veg out. Ciao!